I mean, we're all sitting there all saying the same thing. Why is Edwin Diaz pitching to this guy?
Yeah.
And the best hitter on the Marlins, the guy has been red hot, and you're sitting there going, and you're listening to the booth, and what they're saying and what is happening is just mind-boggling. Now, Alcantara was unbelievable last night. That was one of the best pitching performances that we've seen all year long.
Well, one of the best he's ever seen in his life. Struck out more guys than he ever had.
Right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And I appreciate it. It was a National League type game. It was low scoring. The Mets really had a hell of a time trying to catch up with this kid, and I understand that. I mean, that those games, those types of games are going to happen. But when your manager has a decision to make, and it's so obvious to everyone, and he makes the wrong decision, and your closer comes in and loses the game when he really shouldn't have been pitching to that guy anyway, is mind-boggling. And that's the thing. I'm not saying that the Mets should have won the game. I mean, of course, I want them to win the game. And, of course, I'm second-guessing, as we all are this morning. But this was the first guess from the booth, from Ronnie, Keith, and Gary. And they were all over this, all over it. And so I'm not sitting here this morning saying that, this is a second guess from the booth, because the booth was right. They were totally right. Why are you pitching to him? And, that's a decision that unfortunately ends up getting managers fired.
Well, yeah, he's going, and this is why I said what I said. I mean, I can't even muster up enough passion about a Mets loss this morning to even act like I care, because I can't stand this team and I'm now rooting against them. So,
you can't be rooting against them.
Oh, of course I am. I'm absolutely are. I was laughing my ass off last night when Edwin Diaz is pointing up to the sky. I hate these guys. I can't stand them, and I want them to blow up this roster. But you know what's going to happen? Now Conforto's getting hot, so now you're going to bring him back, and then you're going to be saddled with another horrendous contract for the next 10 years. I mean, I just with the Edwin Diaz pointing up to the sky again when a ball is like 6 inches from going out of the park and puts a dent in the wall is hilarious to me. And I wanted it to happen. I wanted him to blow the game. I wanted them to lose the game. They did, and that made me happier than them winning the game, because they're not going anywhere, and I'm just tired of it. I just want it to be over sooner than later so we can stop talking about these. Remember that time when I had lost my mind about the Knicks because it was like the same stuff over and over again? It was just these bums that we just kept talking about and talking about. I've had my fill now. I've had my fill of the Luis Rojas bad decisions. I've had my fill of Edwin Diaz. It's got to end. It just has to end. I've had my fill of talking about Sandy Alderson botching press conferences and hires. It has to end. None of this that's going on here matters at all.
Right.
I said it the other day. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I can't get into the minutia of a Mets-Marlins game anymore. This franchise needs massive overhaul, and it will happen in the offseason.
I thought we had massive overhaul last offseason.
Well,
so now we want to do it again.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
The GM that you hired that was supposed to be the GM was not the GM because he was a pervert. Then the next guy you hired is drunk outside of a courthouse at 4:30 in the morning. So now you've got a guy in Sandy Alderson that was supposed to just oversee the organization that's running everything, and he's telling you press conferences, giving you press conferences where he's saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff about their best player in Jacob deGrom, but he's got a tear, and maybe it's a tear, maybe it's a strain, maybe it's a bruise is a definition of this. The whole thing's a joke. He's got to go. Everybody else has to go, and they got to get some real people in there. You have sat in that chair and looked at me for the last couple of years and talked about structure.
Yes.
And talked about professionalism.
Yes.
And said, look at what the Jets are doing.
Stability.
Here's Joe Douglas. Here's Rob Saleh. Rob Saleh reports to Joe Douglas. And look at what the Giants have. The Giants have a real professional in the room. Rough.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yes.
So that's what the Mets need to do. And I don't care about Edwin Diaz. I don't care about Pat Mazeika pinch hitting. I don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah, the pinch hitting last night was awful.
I mean, that to me is like...
You could bring these guys off the bench, and then McCann actually has a look of disgust on his face. Now, I guess I would have that same look of disgust if I were sat down in a big spot and didn't get a chance to actually clean up the mess that I've left behind, but...
Great.
I know it. I know you don't care.
I mean,
I understand.
But
you do care
worthless.
because you wanted them to lose.
It's worthless.
You wanted them to lose.
I did. Yeah.
Yes.
I want this to be over quickly so we can stop pretending like it matters.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what matters. This weekend's going to matter. This weekend's going to matter.
Sure, for the right reasons, because we are going to look back on 20 years after 9/11, and I will, of course, nobody will ever forget the role that sports played during that, especially the Mets and Yankees. Yeah, that's a totally different issue.
Yeah, but both teams are still in it. That's the thing.
The Mets are not in it.
Yes, they are in it.
Oh, my God, stop.
Yes, they are in it.
The Yankees are still in it, and they've lost 5 in a row, and then Boston has leapfrogged them, and now they're probably going to end up in 4th place. But they're still in it.
No.
But the Mets are not still in it. Please.
Can I just say something to you again?
God.
And I'm sorry that it pains you, because I know where you are on the precipice. I never thought I would say that this morning of the NFL season, and I can't wait for it either. And tonight, Tom Brady takes on the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Yeah. But I just want to remind you about where the Yankees are right now.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so the Yankees are on the verge of losing 4 in a row and getting their asses kicked by Toronto after losing 2 of 3 to Baltimore, which is just inexcusable when you think about it. But when you start looking at their next 13 games.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Of course, we've been doing this all year long. Why not continue to do it through the end of the year?
Yeah, right, exactly. You've been dragging us along in this scheduled journey.
Right.
I've got bruises and scrapes all over my body. I've been dragged through the schedule.
All right, so you got 3 against the Mets. All right? So you tell me who's playing worse, the Mets or the Yankees right now?
Well, I mean, the Yankees are still 17 games over 500 on the year, so they're the better team.
Of course, okay. So then they have a game against Minnesota, who they
always kill, yeah.
Right. Then they have now 3 at Baltimore, payback time, right? 3 at home versus Cleveland, 3 at home versus Texas. And, you take a look at that little 9-game, 10, and now it's 12 games. The next 12 games after today's game against Toronto.
And then you finish up with your 3 division rivals.
The Yankees can get healthy.
Sure.
And feel good about themselves going into that final stretch.
In theory, yes.
In theory, yes. And this is what they did before this, before they went on this laissez-faire losing streak with pitchers that you've never heard of.
Yeah, but they were also beating good teams during their winning streak. It wasn't just feasting on everybody.
It was a very good run for them. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
but they also lost the bad teams coming out of it, and Toronto now they've given life to.
Yeah, and you really need good news on Garrett Cole, and it seems like it's trending in that direction. So hopefully, if he misses any time, it's just 1 start. But yeah, of course.
You know what's amazing? Just watching the Toronto Blue Jays in the last 3 games. How many of their hitters are over 20 home runs, over 75 RBIs, and are batting over 275?
I mean, they're a young, exciting team. They got a bunch of homegrown guys. I mean, there's just energy there. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and it's like they come to play the Yankees to beat the hell out of them.
Well, of course. I mean, in the Yankees, as easily as they could get healthy, they could end up in 4th place with 3 teams ahead of them. And that's where I think, and I'll go back to the word that I used earlier, the 2-word phrase, off-season carnage. Because if the Yankees end up in 4th place, and the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Rays are ahead of them, after going all in at the trade deadline, having a 13-game winning streak and looking like they had a shot at the division to 4th place in their division.
We suck right now.
Then he's got to go. The Mr. We Suck right now, it is now officially over for him. It has to be.
It's not going to be over.
It has to be.
It's not going to be over for him.
4th place in the division
I know that,
with this team?
You know what's amazing? 2 weeks ago, there were headlines lauding the managerial expertise of one Aaron Boone.
These managers don't do anything.
I know they
don't do anything. What they do is they give press conferences.
Luis Rojas did something last night that ended up costing his team.
Yeah, I mean,
so they do something. They do have, and let's face it, the injuries, the amount of pitchers all these teams have had to use, the lack of clutch hitting by both teams over the last 2 weeks now has been obvious to everybody. I mean, there are issues that both teams are facing. The closer for the Mets is back to where he was 2 years ago. I mean, he's blown 2 saves, and I don't want to say it's his fault. Last
3.
night.
Remember, they won that game on Friday against the Nationals, but that was another blown save.
Yeah, but he did.
3 in the last 5 games.
And again, the booth. This is why the SNY booth is so good. They always talk about you got to score in the top of the 10th inning if you're the road team. If you don't, the chances of winning go up. Or go down exponentially because of the way that the home team can now play the bottom of the 10th inning. And they were so right. They were so right about everything they were saying last night. That's why they should just manage the team from the press box. Why don't they do that?
I mean, there's a couple of decisions that come across the manager's plate.
Look at Al with his Buck shirt on.
Oh,
today.
yeah, he's ready for football, just like I am, of course. That's what it's all about. But, yeah, there's a couple of decisions that come across a manager's plate. Every game, most of the time, the decisions are taken out of their hands. Even these in-game decisions are so analytic-based and predetermined based on the circumstance. But, yeah, last night was idiotic. And another thing I thought about in adding all these things up that have made this Mets year so bad, and one we really haven't talked about is James McCann. They signed James McCann to a 4-year lucrative contract.
Everybody wanted a new catcher.
And
everybody.
He's another one of these black hole Mets catchers who's now getting pinch hit for a guy in Pat Mazeika who's got an under 200 average in a key spot late in the game.
Lefty-righty matchup.
You can tell me all you want about that.
But this is
right. This guy was an all-star at one point. You gave him all this money, and now Pat Mazeika, who's scrap heap guy, is now getting pinch hit a lefty-righty matchup.
Well, scrap heap guy that made it to the major leagues, though.
Pathetic. He made it to the major leagues, but come on. Compared to real major leaguers, Pat Mazeika's not one of them. But anyway, I can't do it. I'm telling you, I tried to tell you the other day.
Okay.
I can't sit here at 6 o'clock every morning and break down Mets minutia.
No,
I can't do it anymore.
I'm not saying that it's Met minutia because that was not minutia last night. That was a significant decision.
We're talking about
the game rested on that decision.
We're talking about details in a baseball game of a franchise that's dead.
But you just said managers don't do anything. Yes, managers do stuff.
Yeah,
they make in-game decisions and adjustments, and for what Luis Rojas said, and Jerry will have the audio for us after the game. It just,
but what does it really mean? He's gone. What does it mean? Doesn't matter.
Right.
This is like what Todd Bowles was saying at the end of his tenure. He's gone, and most of the people that are making decisions in this Mets organization should be gone. So this doesn't mean anything. They're done. He's gone. Diaz should be off the roster. It's just like we're just wasting our breath and energy.
I watched
talking
the game
about.
Do you think the Yankees are done? Do you think it's their year?
No, I don't think they're done. No, of course. How could you say that they're done? They're still in a playoff spot.
You said it wasn't their year.
I did, and things have changed. You said it wasn't their year yesterday.
Yeah, well, look what happened last night.
Yeah, I know. Things are not looking good for them.
But their schedule. Over the next 13 games after today's game.
Yeah, I know. But it's another one of these fool's gold situations.
It loosens up with an L.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees and the wild card and chasing that and then the division, that will be exciting from now until the end of the season. There's no doubt about it because they're in a playoff spot and they've actually played, for the totality of the season, pretty well when you look at their record. It's just been an up and down year, very streaky.
What do you think about this? You got Heel, Cortez Jr., Montgomery, Kluber, and Taillon. Taillon.
Yeah.
But still, what are we talking about here?
We're talking about a staff that right now doesn't have their ace.
Where's Herman? Where's Severino? Where's Cole?
I know. I know.
The amount of pitchers that they've had to use.
It's been incredible.
But then, how about the Mets? The Mets are just picking guys off the scrap heap and throwing them out there.
Why not? It sort of fits their MO.
But they have
sort
no
of on
choice.
brand for them.
If you're just like with Cole being hurt, the fact that DeGrom, we're not going to see him again this year.
Yeah, which is another thing.
Done.
Just another one of these Mets things where you have the general manager, the president of the team, who's the de facto general manager because the two guys that he hired are criminals, essentially. So now has to take over the role. Well, one of them is. Yeah. He said it yesterday. It's a criminal case. The other one's, I guess, not a criminal, but still, you send the pictures of your junk to reporters. What do you want to call them? So now that he's out there addressing the media.
That happens around here quite a bit. I don't know why.
Yeah, Brett Favre, Jared Porter. There's junk pictures everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway. So you've got him addressing Jacob deGrom situation, a two-time Cy Young Award winner, one of the bright spots in the organization, and he's fumbling all over the place. And then when he's done talking about it, you have no idea what the hell's going on. Is it a strain? Is it a sprain? Is it a tear? Is he going to pitch? It's perfectly intact, but he's not going to pitch. What the F's going on? What is going on? So this is why they're done. Just get out of the way. Just please get out of the way.
Did you even appreciate what Seth Lugo did?
No, I don't care. I'm done. I'm telling you. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that I'm done with this thing. When you're driving, this is the way I feel about the Mets. You drive. We do a lot of driving right now.
Oh, yes, we do.
And there's someone in the left lane that's in front of you.
Oh, my God.
And they're going like 55.
Like in the HOV lane? You get stuck in the HOV
really
lane
slow,
like that?
And you're getting frustrated because you got somewhere to go. You got somewhere to be. And then finally, You get past them. They either merge over, they fully, you give them a little bit of the flash, whatever. Finally, they get out of the way, and you hit the gas. Vroom, and then you go past them, and then you look, and you give them like a little, come on, what are you doing? I'm the car behind that car, and that car's the Mets.
Right.
I'm passing you by, out of my way. I don't care, and now you're out of my brain.
Okay.
You've inconvenienced me for this period of time. Now I'm past you, and I'm done. And we'll talk in the offseason when you fire everybody, you get some of these bums off the team, and then maybe we'll have a conversation to see if I care next year. Because so far, you have caused me so much pain. My allegiance to you isn't that important to go through the garbage that they have given us this year. That
was a very good analogy that we all in the tri-state area could totally buy into.
Yeah.
Because we've all been there. We've all been out of my way.
Out of my way. I don't want you in my way anymore. I don't need you in my life.
So that begs the question, if you are in the HOV lane and you get yourself stuck in one of those situations where you're in a cylinder and you can't get out from behind the car or whatever, would you go over the double lines or would you wait until you're allowed to move?
I mean,
Come on,
I'm not going to say. I mean, I did get a ticket for doing that. We talked about this. I did mention on the air. Yes, I did end up getting a ticket for that.
And you didn't drop the "Hey, I'm Gio."
I did not. No, I did not.
Don't you have one of those police cards that don't work?
I didn't end up using it. Regretfully, I felt bad.
How do you use it anyway?
You got to hand it with the license.
Is that the way it works?
And I had it, and I didn't use it, and I just figured the interaction that I had with the guy.
Yeah.
When he pulled me over, I thought...
He was not in a good mood.
No, he was. That was the thing. I didn't feel like I needed it.
Oh, I see.
I said, I'm sorry. I said, I know you, guy. I know what I did. And he's like, yeah. He's like, he goes, your license clean? He gave me one of those. Is your license clean? I said, yes, sir. My license is clean. He's like, all right, let me just check. I'll be right back. Thinking that he's going to check to see if I'm some maniac that's got some felonies on my record, or maybe I was drunk outside of a courthouse at 4:30 in the morning or something like that.
Right.
And he comes back. No, I've got nothing on my license, and then he pulled the ticket out. I said, "Wow!"
Yeah. How long are those tickets too? By the way.
Oh, it's crazy. I was like, "Oh, wait a second. I thought we were just checking the license."
See, the one thing about those ticket printers now, at least you understand exactly who the officer is and what you are accused of.
Yeah.
And you could read it. Back in the day, you could never read it because they had crappy handwriting.
Well, also, what I learned is that, this is a new system. Once they write that ticket,
you're done.
That's it.
You're done.
You are there. That is it. There is no going back.
I've been there, man.
There's no going. There's no phoning in a favor. That ain't happening anymore. Okay, let's take a break there.
Yeah, okay. I think you need a break.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.